Imagine you're at a conference. You're sitting with a table of strangers waiting for the first presentation to start. What do? Do you stare at your phone and scroll randomly? Or do you take a deep breath, make eye contact with a stranger, and make awkward small talk? Native speakers hate small talk too because the first few seconds feel very awkward for everyone. But after the first few sentences, the conversation starts flowing and you're enjoying yourself, meeting a new person, and actually speaking in English. In this video, you'll learn how to master small talk, and you'll learn the exact phrases you can use to start making small talk today. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. First of all, you might be wondering, what is small talk? Small talk is polite conversation about unimportant and uncontroversial topics. Remember, unimportant. Small talk is supposed to be boring. Think of it as a necessary step that leads you into a better, more important conversation. So, when can you make small talk? First of all, notice I said you make small talk. That's the verb you use, make small talk. For example, you can tell your friends that you learned how to make small talk today. So let's talk about when you make small talk. Maybe you get to a meeting early, and there are 3 to 5 minutes before the meeting starts. This is the perfect time to make small talk. You're in the elevator with a coworker or someone you don't know. Or maybe you're waiting in line at the grocery store or the bank. This is the perfect time. Or if you sit down beside a stranger, like when you sit down on a plane, and you're going to be sitting beside that person for 5 hours, you can make small talk. Let's talk about why you should make small talk. This will help you understand why it's supposed to be boring, because small talk is just to fill silence. So if your elevator ride takes 30 seconds, you can go down 30 seconds in silence, or you can have 30 seconds of boring conversation with your coworker or a stranger. It's also to make the other person feel more comfortable. If you sit down on that plane and you're going to be sitting beside this other person for 5 hours, simply exchanging a few words will make both of you feel more comfortable. So now let's talk about all the phrases that you need to make small talk, just like a native speaker. The first category is the weather. Nothing is more boring than talking about the weather, so it's the perfect topic for small talk. Now, because we work virtually now, and you have all members of your team all over the world, you can say, what's the weather like in Toronto today? Assuming you're not in Toronto. So you can ask them, oh, what's the weather like in your city today? Don't worry about writing any of these phrases down because I summarize everything in a free lesson PDF. You can find the link in the description. You can make a simple statement like, beautiful day, isn't it? That's a great one with a stranger when you're going in an elevator. Beautiful day, isn't it? Notice you're adding isn't it as a question tag. You could say, I hear it's supposed to rain this weekend, so it's supposed to. That's in the future. Oh, I hear it's supposed to rain tonight, tomorrow, the next day, on the weekend, next month, any future reference. You can make a general statement, I'm really looking forward to spring. And the other person will likely say, yeah, me too, it's been such a long winter. I know, right? And then you just naturally have a boring conversation about the weather. Another simple statement, looks like another hot weekend. And then again, just like before, yeah, doesn't it? What are you going to do? And then you can naturally start talking about the weather, or you can transition into the weekend, which we will learn about in just a second. One final expression for you. This one is a question. Is it still snowing? Now you can use this one if you've been in the office or inside and you're asking someone and you know they were just outside. Or you might not know, but you're assuming that they've been outside. Is it still snowing? Is it still raining? Is it still cloudy? And then obviously, you use whatever weather is appropriate for this specific time. Another boring category that everyone loves talking about is traffic. Just ask your coworker or that stranger in the elevator, how was the traffic? How was the traffic coming in this morning or leaving, whatever the time of day is now? If you know the person takes a specific route to work, then you can ask them, did you get stuck in traffic on Main Street too? Because you know your coworker or the person you're talking to had to take Main Street. Now, even if this is a stranger, but you're at the airport, so they have to take a certain road to get to the airport. So you can still use this with strangers. You can make a simple statement like, the bus was 20 minutes late today. So you don't need a car to use these phrases. You can use whatever method of transportation that you use. Another question for you, do you know when? And then ask something traffic related. Do you know when the bridge is supposed to be fixed? And this is a bridge that the person you're talking to will 100% know is under construction. Again, this could be with a stranger because to get to the airport, you have to go over a bridge. Now keep in mind when you're making small talk, you don't actually care about the answer. Remember, that's not the goal. The goal isn't to find out when the bridge is going to be fixed. The goal is simply to have a boring conversation, to fill time, to kill time, and to make the other person feel comfortable. Our next category, topical events. A topical event is simply something that people are talking about right now. It could be a holiday, a sports event, it could be a new movie. Something in the news, it's topical. People are talking about it. So if it's the time of year of the Olympics or just before, just after, and you're sitting next to a stranger on the train, you could just ask them, oh, what's your favorite Olympic sport? And the question will seem normal and natural because everyone is talking about the Olympics. Or if it's award season, you can ask, who do you think will win Best Actor? If it's a holiday, a major holiday, you could ask them, oh, are you staying in New York for Christmas? Or you can ask another question related to that holiday. Around Thanksgiving in North America, everyone buys a turkey. So it would be extremely appropriate to ask someone, even a stranger, have you bought a turkey yet? And it could turn into a really interesting conversation because maybe they have a story about it, or they might say, oh, actually, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving because I'm from a different country. And then you can talk about that and have an interesting conversation about their traditions or what they celebrate. Maybe there's a community event and you can ask them, do you know anyone running in the marathon this weekend? And even if the answer is no, well then you can still go back and forth. Oh yeah, me neither. I don't like sports too much. Oh, what do you like? And then it will naturally evolve. Movies are a great choice. There's always a new movie or a new Netflix show or even a new popular YouTube video. And you can still ask them, have you seen the new Star Wars movie yet? And even again, even if they say no, oh, what kind of movies do you like? Oh, you don't like movies? Do you like music? What kind of music do you like? And then the conversation can naturally evolve. Just remember that small talk should be boring and non-controversial. Of course, elections are topical events, but you don't want to talk about elections when you're having small talk with a stranger or someone in an elevator. You should not ask them, did you vote yet? Who did you vote for? That is inappropriate for small talk. One final category, the weekend, something everyone loves talking about. Now keep in mind, if this is on a Tuesday, you can still talk about the last weekend. If this is on a Thursday, the future weekend. And if it's on a Wednesday, well, you decide. You can talk about the past one or the future one. So there is always a weekend to discuss. Did you do anything exciting this weekend? Now, this is in the past, maybe on a Monday or Tuesday. You could just change this to the future if it's Thursday. On Friday, are you doing anything exciting this weekend? What are you up to this weekend? Native speakers love using this expression. That's in the future. In the past, what were you up to this weekend, being this past weekend? An easy one, do you have any plans? Do you have any plans this weekend? A great conversation starter is asking for a recommendation or advice, even if you don't necessarily want it or need it. You can ask, do you know of any events happening this weekend? Or can you recommend? Can you recommend a great Italian restaurant or just a restaurant in general or whatever restaurant you want? Or you could ask them, what's your favorite cafe near here? I love asking this question because I get to go to new places I would never find on my own. And I have tried some amazing spots just by asking strangers, oh, what's your favorite restaurant near here? What's your favorite cafe near here? You always learn interesting results. Now you have more than enough small talk phrases to get you started. Remember, everything is summarized in the free lesson PDF, so you can look in the description for the link to learn more. And if you enjoyed this lesson, make sure you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can watch this lesson to help you learn more phrases so you feel comfortable making small talk.